Welcome back to What the Flick. I'm Matt, that's Alonso. Let's say you don't like the movies, you want to stay home.
And watch other movies.
And watch other movies, just like us. Screening time this year, screener time, it's great.
Yes.
Get to pretend that I don't have to go out.
It's a holiday.
We've got some new movies hitting the home video cycle, and we're gonna recommend some, and maybe some to stay away from, but anything you like coming out this week?
Yeah, a smaller film that I am a big fan of, and I'm in the process, hopefully you guys are watching the Christmas countdown that we're doing here at What the Flick, where every day I'm talking about a different holiday film. Matt has done some with me, and Christy and Ben and Dave and Bibbs. One of the movies that we don't talk about in that one, but that's brand new this year, and that I would like to I hope people discover if they are into horror movies that are set around Christmas time, is a new film called Better Watch Out. And it's from a director named Chris Peckover. I think it's his second film. And it stars Levi Miller, who you may remember from the terrible movie Pan, but he was good in it. Plays a young teenager who's being babysat, has a somewhat outsized idea of the possibility of seducing his older babysitter who is not having it. But then suddenly there is an intruder trying to get in the house, and it's sort of like Home Alone if you up the teen sadism quotient, but it's very unpredictable and the twists keep coming, and it's a really cool little horror comedy. Okay. I recommend it.
I'm not seeing anything on physical media that I'm particularly excited about.
Okay.
But I did a little bit of a deeper dive on Stars this week. So if you have Stars, or this month, we'll cover it this week because it was added to Stars December 1st. Legend of Drunken Master.
Ooh, fun.
The second Drunken Master movie.
Yes.
With the terrible end cut that almost doesn't make sense, but God, the action in that is amazing.
Thank you, Weinstein.
Well, but you know, actually, I gotta tell you, once you actually have seen the original cut, you kind of get why they did it, because the original cut has Jackie Chan's character getting so drunk it gives him brain damage. And so then he starts walking around like he's brain damaged. And it's kind of an offensive portrayal, so I get how they kind of just cut it at the end. And it's like, hey, Jackie was great, and but the action in that one is terrific. It's some of the, it's almost superfluous to describe how amazing Jackie Chan can be in a movie, but this is one of the best examples of some of the most fun he seems to, or he makes it look fun. He makes it look easy, and it looks accidental in places. And it's a great watch. Another one that's out on Stars this week, if you've never caught it, is Black Hawk Down, the Ridley Scott movie, which is a really good action war movie, which I remember seeing in the theaters and was very moved by. It's a really, really powerful film.
You know, I was just going through and I found out that it is actually, if we're on the subject of holiday horror, if you are a fan of the sort of legendary slasher film Silent Night, Deadly Night from 1984, Scream Factory has a new Blu-ray edition, and in fact a limited edition like figure of the Billy in the Santa suit.
Wow.
If you're the kind of person that collects that sort of thing. It is, you know, this is very much an 80s slasher movie, but with a Christmas bent. And you know, it has some, as the kids say, it's got some good kills. But it's also, I think, kind of has some interesting ideas about the darker aspects of the Santa mythos in terms of, you know, the watching and the judging and the, you know, that kind of thing. There's even like this. There's a Christmas Carol they wrote for the movie called like Santa's Coming or something, and it has this eerie sense of foreboding, like, no, he's coming to your house. So it's, you know, not super my genre, but I do acknowledge that it is pretty fun. And if you are inclined to like a movie where Linnea Quigley gets impaled on antlers, then this is the film for you.
What was the movie? And it might have been Better Watch Out. Maybe that wasn't the one with Malcolm McDowell a few years ago.
No, that was the remake of actually that was Silent Night. It was
the remake of Silent Night.
Silent Night, Deadly Night. Yeah, and yeah, Silent Night, Deadly Night had this interesting history because it came out. It was released by like a Sony subsidiary originally, and then Siskel and Ebert God, hated that movie so much and were so offended by its very existence. They actually went on their TV show and named like the writer and the director and the producer and said, shame. And so then Sony dropped it, and then some other producer, some other distributors are very happy to pick it up and be like, see the movie they tried to ban, you know, because it was a hot item because it had gotten so much press coverage. Interestingly enough, one of the there were like these ads that were taken up by different sort of like old Hollywood types who were like, hey, this is horrifying. And one of the people who was just aghast that this movie existed was Mickey Rooney. And he turns up in Silent Night, Deadly Night 5.
Nice, nice. Some good movies if you're an HBO subscriber that have dropped this month. The Exorcist makes its way.
Oh,
because you know nothing says Christmas.
Oh,
like
indeed. Well, if you're Catholic, you know.
And War of the Roses. Right?
Nice.
The
Kathleen Turner, Michael Douglas.
Third movie that they did together?
Yes.
Right? And it was directed by Danny DeVito.
It was.
And it's about
the couple. Also in it.
Yes, about the couple that gets married and then the most acrimonious divorce
ever.
Yeah, that movie is, I wonder if that holds up because I haven't seen it in a long time.
I haven't seen it in a long time either. I remember it being very, very dark.
Very dark.
It's an acrid comedy. But
and then since most everybody got Netflix, we'll go through a couple of movies that are new to Netflix.
Oh, yes.
Or coming back. 8 Mile.
Oh, okay.
Which is very, very good. Full Metal Jacket is new to Netflix. Right. Again, another Christmas movie. V for Vendetta on Netflix. That's one I feel like I catch all the time on something like TNT.
Oh, funny.
And that movie jumps around in time enough that when I catch it, like I have kind of no idea where it is in the movie.
And that's
because the movie starts and then there's a bunch of flashbacks and then it starts again. And so that's almost a movie that you could run 24 hours over a messed up weekend, like over the Guy Fawkes weekend. Similar to the way that A Christmas Story is so episodic, you can kind of come in
that's
and out
true,
at any
time. Indeed.
Then the classic documentary Thin Blue Line is on Netflix as of just a couple weeks ago.
Interesting because they've got the new Errol Morris project, Wormwood.
Right.
So I guess maybe that's part of getting folks interested in that.
Right. So a lot of new stuff on DVD this weekend, or I'm sorry, home video, because who's buying DVD anymore?
Right? You know, it saddens me because I mean, like, as much as I love the convenience of streaming and all that, I do love a DVD extra. I love a commentary track. I love a behind the scenes. I love a documentary. You know, and there are some floating around out there. And I mean, if you get Filmstruck, they do carry over some of the goodies from Criterion. But for the most part, it's become kind of a dying art, and I'm sad about that.
Yeah, it's. I still feel weird. I get why they do it, but you know, you're checking out at the grocery store and you're seeing DVDs, and it's just that's a weird impulse buy. Like, no, it's not as much fun as candy.
It's like, yeah, I'm gonna have this gum and the Beverly Hillbillies. Why not?
Yeah, it's like it's almost. It's not quite the equivalent, but it's similar. Like when you'd see like the ratty cassette tapes at the car wash, right?
Oh, or the truck stop for sure.
Or the truck stop, right? And now it's like, here's these ratty movies that nobody cares about. And it's like, all right.
Every so often, though, you find like something either really bizarre or something really good that just somehow managed to wind up in the $8.99 stack. So you never know. You never know.
Never know.